Qui êtes-vous? Why, Graham?
And I'm Mark.
Je suis Marc.
Je suis Marc.
Sujet ADDICTIV-TV. We are ADDICTIV-TV à Londres, from London, and une acte audiovisuel. Electronic artists.
Go Videograph!
When did we meet?
Ooh, I can't remember.
He was doing an album for EMI called Mashed. It was the first ever cleared album of mashups. I was asked to do the video, and it was Blondie versus the Doors.
Blondie versus, yeah, Rapture Riders, as people may or may not know.
Yeah, and that's how we met. Scene one, take one.
Action.
Make stop noise for Addictive TV.
Are we VJs or DJs? I mean, many people ask this, and in some ways we're both, but in some ways we're neither.
We're neither, yeah.
Yeah, because when we perform, we're not really DJing. I mean, physically, we are doing the motions and actions of a DJ, where yes, you're beat matching kind of music, but it's like our own music, it's our own remixes, and so we're not DJing in terms of playing other people's records, and we're not VJing in the sense of kind of doing visuals to music. But
When you actually see the whole show, it's more of a audio-visual experience.
yeah,
as such,
it's more of like just a live show that's our own.
We don't
work.
like being called VJs or
No.
DJs.
It's everything,
It's
all
everything
mixed
rolled
together.
as one.
And for us, it's like a new form of the seventh art, I guess, in many ways. Is the whole thing of kind of, you know, music and cinema really, you know, should come together in a new kind of way.
How do we choose what samples we sample? That's it's in everyday life, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stuff we see in movies or music
Movies we
ideas,
like.
movies we like.
Music
So
we like.
it always, the initial starting point is something that you like yourself to instigate a good idea or a good sort of creative direction to take.
Because sometimes, yeah, I find that you could just be watching TV and then you just see something and it just sparks an idea. And you think, oh, that would be a great idea. And then I'll text Mark and go, hey, what do you think of this idea?
And I go, no, it's rubbish. Go and walk the dog or something, you know, get some more inspiration.
Scotty, we're going to need every ounce of your engines. We're going to put 100 million miles between us and that madman. Aye, aye, sir.
I mean, if you take Star Trek, classic 60s Star Trek, with such classic sounds that people recognise and they know and they're familiar with, and you actually cut them up and make music from it, it can just be really, really powerful. like to be called DJs because we're not DJs in the sense that every week they're playing new music, and we simply couldn't do that because it's all our own material. But having said that, our set is not fixed at all, and over the however many years we've been working together, we've created so much material that a bit like a DJ, you chop and you change, you don't play this track or this track, but you play this track and this track. And then you see how the audience is working.
We're kind of armed with a catalogue of, say, about 30 different tracks. And normally when we do a set, it's probably about 12 to 15 tracks. So you've got lots there to kind of choose from as well.
Because of the way we work, we don't have the period where you don't make any new work and then you spend 4 months making new work and then you just perform that. That's not how we work. No. We're just always making new material.
Slow the tempo down and introduce you to some real solid groove. Music that's sound as a rock. In fact, I like to
put your hands together.
I mean, when you say the democratization of electronic kind of dance music moving more into the mainstream, yes, I think it is, and it has done for many, many, many years. I mean, over 10 years ago, a lot of electronic music was dominating the charts, and it was very hard at the time for rock bands to kind of get airplay on the radio because everything was sample-based electronic music. So I think, even when something like Glastonbury Festival, which is, biggest festival in the UK, one of the biggest in the world, they ended up actually starting to have a dance tent. That actually kind of really proved that I think electronic kind of dance music had come of age, and it wasn't just only underground. But still, even though millions and millions of people go clubbing every week, it's still not mainstream in the sense that there isn't television programs about it. It's not on a lot of radio still, and which is quite strange, really.
In actual fact, there's not a lot of music on television.
That's true.
In our country, used to have things like Top of the Pops or sort of evening sort of club shows. You don't get that at all.
No, and the few television programs there is on television, again, never or rarely ever feature electronic kind of dance music. It's always just rock or blues, and I guess part of that's to do with the electronic music isn't very visual in that kind of sense, and you haven't got people with guitars and that kind of thing. And I guess in a way that's where artists like us are kind of breaking that kind of tradition of trying to make electronic music visual, and in terms of it's not us, and you don't look at us, you look at the screen.
But we're going to the Reunion Islands, aren't we?
Yes, we're going to the Reunion Islands.
Have you been there before?
I haven't, no.
You haven't? Neither have I.
No, we're going there late this month.
Yeah.
And yes, we're hoping to film local musicians there. And what we've been doing is, on our travels, is working with local musicians, collaborating with all different kind of artists, from circuit benders, creating music from children's toys in Italy, to a guy in Tunisia playing the Darabuka drum. But we're hoping at Sakifo, on the Reunion Islands, to kind of work with some really good traditional, sort of obviously African-influenced musicians playing traditional instruments.
And also the setting is going to be fantastic because of down by the beach, so it always looks great, when you capture the essence of the country.
we're looking for le Sakifo, je pense, un grand spectacle
Dans la plage.
Oui, dans la plage. Et j'espère beaucoup de personnes attendaient le spectacle. Et pardon pour mon terrible français. And yes, see you in the Reunion Islands.
Hot, sweaty, and very, very good.
Hot, sweaty, brilliant.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that in the Reunion Islands it will be even better.
Even better. Down on the beach.
At Sakifo, it would just be the most amazing thing ever. No, that was fantastic, really fantastic.